So is MMA champion Dricus du Plessis truly a sloppy fighter who's getting by on his athleticism and luck? No, of course not. And I hope to explain exactly why he's been so successful in this video. Yes, du Plessis is a very stiff fighter, and he has a tendency to throw everything he has into most of his strikes. This can make him look clumsy, awkward, not technical, whatever you want to call it. But there's a reason he's getting away with this, both offensively and defensively. Dricus does have a form of practical defense while throwing. You would think with his shots being so obvious, him loading up and telegraphing them, that it would make it easy for opponents to evade them. But there's a reason they have trouble with that too. Let's explain the aggressive defense part first. Du Plessis is like the famed boxing champion Rocky Marciano, in that he commits nearly all of his weight into most of his attacks. While Rocky was a swarmer who never stopped punching, and du Plessis prefers a slow pace with occasional blitzes, the two both strike as if they have a bowling ball attached to their hands. This all comes down to balance. You can think of loading your weight like a stamina bar in a video game. You can either throw a lot of light attacks and use up little stamina, or you can commit your weight fully. The more you commit, the harder you can hit, but it will be more difficult to follow up with another quick shot or to change directions. More commitment on one attack means less options on what you can do next. But like Marciano, du Plessis usually has a way out to safety. With Marciano, this was his ability to roll and weave out of punches, using his head movement coming off his punch to escape. Du Plessis implements the same tactic, but with footwork. Similar to Dominic Cruz, Wonderboy Thompson, or Willie Pep if you want to get really old school, du Plessis uses footwork both to generate power and to change angles. Sure, he's not able to stop on a dime. He's a car with the brake lines cut. But he is good enough at driving a high-performance vehicle that he's able to veer out of the way of obstacles. These footwork tactics include V-shifts, linear shifts, and lateral shifts, amongst others. You can check out my book on footwork if you'd like to learn more about these techniques. But what's important is the concept. Du Plessis is like a soldier on horseback, stabbing at the enemy as he rides by. But what about if opponents try to stay put or move into him, denying him an exit? Well, he can simply turn the momentum of his blitz into a takedown. Or he can counter. Speaking of Marciano, look how similar these knockouts are. Both instances, the opponent ducks the power punch, and the follow-up is to track their head movement, transferring the momentum from the forward rush into a low hook. So that's aggressive defense. But what about connecting with his wild offense? How does the competition not see such blatant shots coming? Well, that's actually where his strategy is kind of ingenious. To start with, there's his constant use of feints. And his blitzes are such a threat that his feints are taken very seriously, which helps him to slow down the pace and conserve his energy for his explosive attacks. However, the main reason is the way he constantly changes his rhythm during attacking. Du Plessis doesn't just load up and throw like an untrained person. Yeah, he does that too. But he can also throw in a technically correct manner, remaining balanced with a stable base. Or, instead of leaning his weight away to load up a blatant attack, he can break the rules in another way and fall directly into a strike, appearing like he's being yanked by a rope. Or he can step into position, pause, see what the opponent's reaction is, and only then throw. This variety makes him incredibly hard to time. So when he does load up after throwing correctly on the last few shots, it works like a surprise delayed attack and you mistime your roll, block. I've been playing too much Elden Ring. Conversely, when du Plessis throws with no load up after broadcasting his attack so often, it's equally jarring for opponents. So even when he misses by a mile, each of du Plessis' attacks help to set up the next through unpredictability. Whether he's put thought into this rhythm manipulation or it's something he's developed through years of sparring, I don't know. But his timing is so varied, I can say with certainty he's not just rolling the dice and getting lucky every time. It's his unpredictability, and yeah, having an iron chin definitely helps, that's been creating pathways to victory. I've left a list of these rhythm tricks in order in the pinned comment below. To be clear, there are a lot of potential ways to beat du Plessis' style. But for now, it's working pretty damn well. From the Modern Martial Artist, this has been David Christian. Wishing you happy training.